first corner. Driver number 1 looking to the inside of 2. Second place, sets himself up for a pass going into this carousel. Is he going to be able to get his nose in there? Go.
Welcome to the Premier Stock Car Racing League here at Auto Club. Cars that have 900 horsepower now after iRacing made a mistake on the last update, and they actually kept it because the public really didn't want it. Point up to race info. One question I have, 900 horsepower on a large and flat track. What can go wrong? Who knows? Probably going to find out. I do expect to maybe get a lot of guys that get loose off the corner, get snappy loose, really once the car wants to step out from them because they're trying to get back to the throttle, but these cars have so much power. They don't think about that, so it can come out and get them. But I will introduce Josh Kreider here, and he will go over what has gone on in the league so far, as I am kind of a broadcaster that was brought in here about the last minute.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming over. We're at the California Speedway, Autoclub Speedway, whatever you want to call it, depending on how long you've been following NASCAR and iRacing. So we're going to be here at 125 laps tonight. We're going to have a stage break on lap 25, I believe. So we're going to have some good racing up to that point. The track is going to be really difficult, and the cars are going to be really difficult. It's a really worn-out surface. Like you were talking there, the cars really get loose off the turn and coming in the middle as well. And as you eat them tires up, if you're not careful, the right front and the right rear really start wearing, and you get tight, and you're going to hit the wall. So I expect a lot of good action. We got a lot of good new drivers this week that have tried out and came into the league. So we're glad to have everybody that is aboard this week. I want to give a special shout out to Butt Kicker, tinyurl.com/vacay100, Ayers Paints, Gaston Racing Graphics, and then tonight, the Ghost Racing Network. So I really appreciate you guys coming on board. A little update from Iowa, since Matt had some technical difficulties last week. We did have a couple run-ins on the track. Michael Schultz has been removed from the Premium Stock Car Racing League for retaliation. We do not stand for that. Just for those that saw some of the replay and might have been a part of that and saw that, he's no longer with us. And Marcus Cunningham is serving a probation for retaliation as well, as he was on the receiving end of that. So we don't take that lightly as well. So everybody kick back, enjoy the race. I'm going to go qualify, and have a great night.
All right, well, you heard from Josh Kreider there. Had to do it a little bit differently. Never have done that. Actually had the Discord audio muted. I forgot about that. So I will probably make sure to fix that next time, but I had to switch over to desktop audio. So that was my fault. It kind of went a little bit dim there for a little bit, I'd say. I tried to get it going. Actually, nope, let's not move that. Let's move this logo here down to the bottom. I think that's what I want to do, because this is, let's put that down there. So it's a little bit better for y'all to see it. They have just got done with their qualifying, I believe, but we will actually, yes, they should have gotten done with their qualifying. So if I can actually roll up their race results, if it will let me pull that up. That must be set. That was practice time here. That will be pulling up here. This is, should be giving me a race time. Might be the qualifying. Let me check. Yes, it is qualifying. Sorry, I had that completely wrong. For some reason, I thought it just switched right over to race time. I seriously thought that kept going through the qualifying. But these cars are going to be interesting. I haven't ran these cars in, I think, for about a year, probably. I ran them when I was in the D class. But no, ever since then, I never ran them. It wasn't something that I ran just because, there's no point for me being down there. Like what do I get from doing that? So it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of guys have a snapping rear end on exit. It's not going to probably go well for some of them, but we'll just have to hope that that it doesn't snap. But I think we probably will see it. We actually look at somebody that is on track right now, though. This is Kenny Kibbe, a very high IR driver, so he's probably used to this thing stepping out on him. See him digging around here already, trying to get something going. You can see that's a lot of correction in that wheel. I mean, it's never straight the whole entire time. He's always turning it, always doing something with it. Jeff Clifton actually just put down the fastest lap, 40.16. Hand is right behind him, though, in that time frame. Not sure what that was. I guess he just cut the car off. He realized he wasn't going to get the time. As you see it stepping out there, it's TJ Hanley, driver that also runs in the Ghost Cup Series. So another familiar name for me. But again, I was kind of called into this. I was actually in a Open race, and I was just scrolling through Facebook because I under caution, and I saw that somebody needed a broadcaster, so I pretty much decided to say, yeah, I can do it. Kind of last second, like, we picked up. But this league, let me pull up the sponsors so I can be completely sure. League is sponsored by Ayers iRacing Paint, Admin Box, Butt Kicker, Gaston iRacing Graphics, Westgate Resorts. That is at the very bottom in the middle. Y'all can see actually kind of like where that's placed. I still need to find out the code because I don't know the code that I need to put in for the multiple or more than 5 logos in there. That's a question for me. I really don't know how to do that quite just yet, but I think drivers should be getting done with their qualifying ride by now. We have some guys that are qualifying, some guys aren't. Josh Kreider. Like most guys are appearing to run the stock number. I do have that changed to run a number that they have put on the car. But 125 laps, so it's going to be interesting. We're going to be really interesting. There's actually a lot of people in this field. It looks like we've got 27-ish drivers out there currently. These guys have one more lap, or not one more lap, one more minute left in their qualifying session. I'll leave it up there on the board for y'all so you know how long they have exactly, so you're not left guessing. Don't know much about this league. Don't know if people have some old feuds or something like that. Have to see if they do or don't. You guys could not be liking each other. We're gonna have to find out here, that's for sure. As I don't know if y'all watched the Xfinity race earlier, there was a driver who literally parked his car on the track at the start-finish line. I don't know what in the world was going on. Couldn't make any sense to me. It was Josh Williams that did it. But it was interesting. Very interesting, that's for sure. You see that there? So I'll pull now the starting grid. Sorry, I had that completely wrong that first time. So J.R. Shepard first, Kenneth Chaney second, Jeff Clinton third, fourth, Kenny Kibbe fifth, Jordan Hand sixth, Nathan Williams seventh, Bob Eldred eighth, eighth is Matt Shanowski, ninth, Austin Bolecki, 10th, William Conley, 11th, Noah Blackwell, 12th, Melvin Behringer, 13th, Farrell Robbins, 14th, Jordan Kreider, 15th, Cody Blackmore, 16th, Gary Eldred, 17th, Josh Kreider, 18th is Bodrick Vaclip? I might have got that wrong. 19th, Tyler Ferguson, 20th, Joshua Stott, 21st, Brian Underwood, 22nd, Jacob Shoffett, 23rd, TJ Hanley, 24th, John McIntyre. I've heard John McIntyre from somewhere else. 25th, David Mayo, 26th, Nathan Brookover. I don't know why I'm trying to say 16th for it, but those are all the guys in the race. But we do have a little bit of a starting person here tonight that's going to be giving the commands here, but I will pull up that video and let it play for you all.
From Independence, Kentucky. Looking forward to some great racing tonight. Seen some good racing so far. I'm really enjoying the racing. I hope you are too. There's only one thing left to do. Start your engines and let's go racing.
Someone giving the starting command for this race. I wait for every driver to grid, and they'll all get a paint refresh because I want to make sure that sponsors are showing up on guys' cars like they are supposed to. I know sometimes most of them won't give them a paint refresh at the start of the race, and they'll kind of be left running either a blank paint scheme that they tried to change before they hopped in the session, or something else related to that. I just want to make sure sponsors are seen at all times. So waiting on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people to get in. I think one of them, no, sorry, 9. Waiting for 9 people to get in here. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how these cars drive anymore. This is kind of foreign territory for me. It's been a while. It has been a good amount of time since I've saw these cars back on a track. I haven't touched them. So just want to see what's going to happen. I mean, that's really what's going to come down to. What's going to happen is going to be a big question. A really big question. So we might try to do some of those camera things again on these guys when I get... And they've never done that before. I think there's a better way of doing that. I might have to look it up, though. Find out how to do it. That's kind of interesting, kind of a thing I might want to try later. And we might have everybody. I think we're waiting on like 1 more person, 2 more people, 1 more person to grid. I think everybody should be on the grid now. See if they start rolling here. TJ Hanley's starting to be a painter that I'm starting to see a lot more of on his paint scheme that he's releasing. Probably going over some rules before these guys get rolling. Leagues always have to remind drivers that you can do this, you can't do this. Probably shouldn't do this, but you can. We can't do anything about it. Yeah, but they are now rolling. So paint refresh for these guys. Cars will go white. I'll load in with their paint schemes after that if they have changed them at some point. We will have a Ford and a Chevy leading the front row. This is a car that iRacing did have earlier in their service. They've had it for a while, but they made a mistake last update. They gave these cars 900 horsepower. They were going to change that back, but the iRacing community, you know, wanted this. They wanted the power that these cars had because it was fun to drive. iRacing actually said, you know what? We're going to actually keep these cars at 900 horsepower just for you all because you wanted it so much. And it's going to be interesting because these aren't the cars like you once drove. These aren't the 500 to 600 horsepower cars that drivers now drive today. This is 900 horsepower. You're going to have a lot of power when you're getting back on the throttle. And if you jump into it too early, you're going to find out real quick what's going to happen to you. This car is getting ready to pull off here. Starter has the flag in his hand. As green flag is in the air, we are underway here from Auto Club. 125 laps. guys go off the corner. They're already spreading out back here, almost going 3 wide for half a second. And they decide, no, let's not do that. It's only lap 2 of the race here. The 88's trying to get up under the one of Jeff. Sorry, that is Jeff Clinton. He's actually trying to fend off the 88 of Jordan Hand. Jordan's going to try to get on that bottom. See TJ riding that middle line, trying to get up in front of that 38. He can't quite do it, though. Bob Eldred in that high line, trying to get the draft help in front of him, but he really can't do anything as that 52 just sailed it on in there. Hoping it would stick if the tires burn off. Who cares? Got Jeff trying to take a spot, or trying to hold on to one. I'm going to go side by side with him. Clinton trying to hold that off from Cheney. He will do that. Some guys are running that high, low, mid, and then super high line on the track. You can run a lot of places here, but if you run a little bit too wide, you'll figure out real quick. You probably shouldn't do that because your tires will be pretty much burnt up. At 52's kind of on his own, but he does have some draft and help of the cars in front of him. He can probably get a draft from Nathan Williams on that high line, so he's not fully out of it. This is a pretty draft heavy track, I would dare to say. You really don't have a car in front of you, you're going to be hurting a lot because it's just the run that you can get off the draft. I mean, these are long front stretches and back stretches that these guys are having to do. As Clinton, he's actually going for the lead. Trying to get it from JR right now. Let JR know that he's there. He's going to try to get that second seam really run up closer to that in the bottom. He sweeps it out a little bit on exit. See that rear end already starting to wiggle. I see some guys losing some spots, some guys gaining. The biggest gainer so far is Nathan Brookover. He is up 9 positions. He's currently sitting 7th, though, and he really doesn't have anybody around him that he can draft off of, so he's going to have to get close to Brian Underwood, but I don't know if he can do it because he's just so far away from people. It's going to be hard for him to be able to do anything. But Jeff Clinton, he did get the lead from J.R. Shepard, so J.R. moves down to 2nd, only lost 1. Clinton's up 2. He's currently leading. I do want to see later on in the run, as that is some heavy damage on Nathan Williams. I mean, that car is, I think that's Nathan right there. Yeah, that 43 car has some heavy right front damage. I mean, that is heavy damage on that car. Don't know how aero affected these cars are, but if they're affected badly, that's going to hurt him a lot. I know that right front's probably going to heat up more than what it should. You have a little bit of a tire rub going on. You really wouldn't be thinking it, though. At 76, he's going to try to get a position on Eldred. Looks like he'll get a run. Guys going to do an old school drag race down the back stretch. Probably so you can sail it off into 3 and 4 more. Who has the guts is the better question for him. I think that's 76. Oh, he actually did hit the wall there. He's getting so close to it. Cheney's going to try to pull a crossover now. He said, you can have that position for just a second, but I'm going to try to come get it right back from you. Like, he would get that position. So, using the wall to turn as that 38's trying to get to that quarter panel. He's just not close enough quite yet. He's trying to get there. I think he finally got a good run off the corner, and it allowed him to pull ahead. Back here, it seems like everybody else is spaced out, though. As what happened to Brookover? We just saw him sitting, I believe, 17th. Don't have an alert for any incidents on the track. He must have gotten loose somewhere. As Jordan, that's what his name is actually capitalized as. I'll pull it up here. He has SDK. He does. Yeah, you see Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. And iRacing, it is JORD capital ON. Where I'm saying that. That one is now kind of fended off JR. JR lost the lead, but JR is like, I'm going to try to get it back from you now. I kind of like being up there. I don't like being back here. JR, he's definitely going to try. He gives him a lot of room. He can kind of get an arch that he wants to in the corner. That one, I think it had it step out on him there. JR gets way away from Jeff. I think it did step out. I just really couldn't tell from that angle. That's not what you want to see, though. Guys are currently running about 40-second laps. This 88 is blinking in and out. Do not know where he is. That is Jordan Hand. He's now there in front of Kibby. Kibby's probably about to freak out because one thing that is the absolute worst is when you have a car in front of you that you can't see. You don't know when they're going to reappear. It's always a kind of panicky time. Nathan's now back up 1. I'm not sure. I still don't know what happened to him. We got a big gaggle of cars now. The 114, 88, and 76. Guys are all around each other. What happens when you go at tracks like this as Jason has a car step out on him? I believe the 14 did too. That was Hand and Kibby. Both had the car step out as we got somebody in the wall behind them. Might have had a bad entry there, but these guys are on top of each other. They are not giving each other any room. As Hanley surprisingly, or not TJ, sorry, that is Williams is surprisingly doing good. I might have called Nathan TJ at the start of that. If I did, I'm sorry. Keep thinking about the design and associate it with TJ Hanley. Because up here, these guys are just on top of each other. Now, this is kind of allowing JR to run away a little bit. It's also not at the same time because they're getting draft help as Clifton just had that step out on him hard. I mean, that car wanted to rear its end out sideways. That's what's going to happen when you get cars that have such high horsepower. The back end it doesn't want to stay in the ground. It just doesn't. That's just one thing that happens at tracks like this. 24 of Austin back here. He's not doing too hot. He's lost 10th position. He started 9th. He started 9th. He's currently 19th, so he's not having a good night so far. It's being pretty rough for him. Probably going to pick away at the track, kind of find some stuff that he's doing a little bit differently than people, as Cheney will go back to his original starting position in second right there. As these guys are 15 laps into the race, we will take our first side-by-side commercial break, so y'all will not miss anything.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
As we are back here, 19 laps into this race. Currently, these guys have been keeping it pretty clean so far. JR did lose the lead to Cheney, though. JR, I think, is probably kind of just letting these guys, you know, test out the waters for him, see where he can and can't run, where he should be running, where he shouldn't be running sometimes. This is what you're gonna, it's an up and down thing. The up and down thing that happens all the time. Biggest mover now is Ryan Underwood. He's 12 currently, might be less if he doesn't catch that car when it steps out. Oh, that almost ended up bad. You can see that wiggling. I mean, these guys are now getting into the point of the run to where that car is really stepping out of them. That rear end's not going to be wanting to stay in the ground. That's just solely based off of, you know, how much power they have and how much grip is left on them. Probably isn't very much, as Eldredge is down pit road now, lap 21. You see if this starts a cycle. We'll just have to find out. JR kind of swipes the bumper of Cheney. Doesn't really even get close enough to touch him. When I say swipe, he kind of goes from the bottom to about the middle, washing up to the wall. Yeah, Eldredge, he's already on and off pit road. So I actually go, I believe, only one lap down. Yeah, he'll only go one lap down. Goffett is one lap down too. He pit on lap 16. As Gary Eldredge, he's now down pit road. Probably brother duos here. Not too common that you find brothers that race. Might be either brothers or people who are related to each other. These guys were, you know, bottled up on each other a lot. They've kind of spread it out now. They're not all over each other like they were before. Pretty calm. We want to see what this does for some guys that are needing to do some pit stops. As Noah Blackwell's down pit road here. 52 Chevy Impala. Gonna bring that down pit road, get 4 tires and fuel. He'll be off and away after that. David Mayo, he's also down pit road too. He's coming at lap 23. Let's see, Cheney has some right side damage too, I guess, and with how much horsepower you have, it probably doesn't matter. You can make it up most of the time if I were these guys, if I had to guess. JR's going to lose another spot to Kibbe. Kibbe and JR are actually the two highest Once here, as we have a caution on the track, as there's a lot of guys going down pit road. Can't enter pit road now because it is now closed, as Jordan Kreider has crashed. Oh, yep, that'll do it. So Kreider is coming down pit road. 48. So Jordan is coming down road, or going down pit road. Josh is trying to get down pit road also, but he runs into the back of his brother, and he spins his brother on accident. He's just trying to get down there as much as he can. Then he comes back up on the track. That right there is what drew that caution. No, they're probably not going to be too happy with each other. Wouldn't blame them, but mistakes happen. So the guys that just pit, this is good for them. The guys that didn't pit, well, yeah, that's a different story. Probably not going to be too happy, and I wouldn't blame them either. I'd be kind of mad also. It would suck, but you know, it's just, I mean, it is what it is, as we do not need that. It is what it is. Trying to see if I can get some of this other stuff. I've never done this camera thing, so I'm just trying to experiment with it. Evidently, we don't need that, because that did not work out. Let me remove that. Y'all just probably saw the photo of an office meme and somebody giving somebody the finger, because race a radioactive is not done for us, so it's kind of a sad time. Trey was very busy. He wasn't able to get to it quite just yet. Yeah, these guys will come down pit road. I believe almost everybody will. William Connolly will not come down pit road. Guys that just pitted will stay out. Possibly. I'm not really sure. Will they stay out? Yeah, Bob did go a lap down, so he'll get the wave around. These two other guys will get a wave around their laps down. While these guys are currently doing that, I made the bad mistake of not getting something to drink, so I will go do that while these guys are down pit road here shortly. I am back. I made that mistake before of not getting something to drink. I'm not risking that. But Conley is the leader now. Cheney second, Gibby third, Shepard fourth, Jeff Clinton fifth, and Jordan Hand sixth. Top three race for these guys. Lights are off in the pace car. "27 laps into this race so far, so these guys got a long way to go. It's not over for them yet. Even if you got damage, you can get it fixed. If more cautions come out, if something else happens, allows drivers more time to get damage fixed in the car. Do want to see how Connolly fires off. I don't know if it'll be good or not because he is on old tires. Old tires don't grip up so well sometimes. It depends on how they do. Sometimes they do good, sometimes they do bad. As he's now pulling off to go to pit road. Not sure what that was, but now that will now put Cheney as the leader. Nope. Guess I'll put Cheney as the leader as green flag is in the air now after a weird start, and the 14 gets rear-ended. Missed a shift there. That will bring out another caution. That was Kibby, I believe, that missed a shift. I'm gonna go back and rewind. I do think that was a missed shift. Gonna go cockpit with them. Yep. Probably couldn't get the car into gear, and he just gets rear-ended. Don't think that's a lot of damage for him, though, because it kind of really didn't dent in the spoiler. The spoiler's still pretty straight. Now, the rear end's, not so good, but... doesn't look so hot for him. But he can get that fixed under caution. But that's what happens sometimes in these H-pattern shifters. If you don't have a good shifter and you try to shift, it doesn't really go well at all. At all. It goes bad. And real bad. It just won't really want to... going to gear and RPM's dropping. You literally cannot go. You're stuck there doing nothing. That's a mistake everybody's made. I made that mistake in the old Gen 6s all the time. Gibby's probably like, well, I can't believe I just did that. Everybody's done it. Doesn't have to worry. I do not know why Connolly came down like that. Okay, he was a lap down. So he probably should have been put to the back of the pack, but iRacing didn't do that. iRacing has been doing that recently. They haven't been really putting people where they need to all the time, so probably was something that it was told to him last second. There's really nothing you can do at that point. Yeah, thanks y'all for subscribing. I see we're at 590 again. If y'all aren't subscribed to Ghost Racing Network, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, that'll help us grow. Would like to get to maybe 600 by the end of this night. I think it's possible as we have somebody unlapping themselves on that top line. I do think it would be pretty cool to see this channel go to 600. We are at 591, so thank you to whoever subscribed. Again, it's free. You can always take it back. You can always turn notifications off. Like y'all to watch, but again, I don't think anybody wants to watch racing 24/7. Even I find it boring sometimes. But looking at damage-wise, how was TJ? It was actually, sorry, it was Nathan Williams who had that damage. He's pretty much got that fixed. They may have a fast repair too. Not completely sure. Again, that's just kind of a last-second thing for me. I was just scrolling Facebook and A Open and found this. Ferguson's back down pit road. This could be topping off on fuel for him. I mean, it's so early that it could get you a little bit of a tire advantage, so that's what they'll have to keep in mind if they want to do that. Not a bad option. I'm somebody who likes the tires more than anything else, but lights are off in the pace car. Be Cheney, Shepard, Hand, Pinoski, and Veklovic? Bodrick? Veklovic. Roderick. What? I'm gonna figure out this dude's name. Roderick Veklovic. Broderick. Sorry, Broderick Veklovic. Broderick Veklovic. That is an interesting name. I've never heard somebody name that before. Probably some European name. Came over way back, if I had to guess. Lights are off in pace car. Cheney, Shepard, top row here. Start is on Cheney, I believe. Starter has the flag in his hand, and we are back underway here at Auto Club. As we already have another caution out, that's Ferguson and the 08 of... If I can get that number right, don't want to get it wrong. It's not Nathan Brooker. Gary Eldridge. Somebody probably missed a shift again. Nothing that happens. Yep, looks like this is a missed shift. Actually, somebody misses this in front of them. Okay, yeah, so that's not really the 5's fault, because I mean, that's just the product of a stack up right there. Somebody missed a shift way up in the pack, and the 5 just ran over the 08. He did not mean to do that, as that has definitely destroyed the left front of that car. Left front of that car. That car is not looking too well. Car shouldn't look like that. It looked pretty straight. That brings out the third caution. That's 2 cautions we saw be caused by restarts, guys. Just messing up. It's not on purpose at all. It's just, it's going to happen at tracks like this. They're somewhat hard to get going, and some guys are better than others at it. With such high horsepower, it's so much more difficult now with them. It's not like you used to be able to do it. As Mike Chrome has been freezing recently. Probably need to update it. Good job, me. Didn't think about that. But lights are already off. That's a very quick caution. Very, very quick. That's almost... I mean, that's just bam, bam. Done. So lights are off. It'll be the third caution so far. They'll get green on lap 35. Shepard and Shanowski leading them there. Pace car pulls off here. 125 laps. Starter has the flag back in his hand. We have somebody getting a Kyle Busch restart here. Might want to slow down if he does that. As green flag is back in the air, it looks like everybody finally gets away and going. Like it'll be JR who will lead that lap. Everybody else back here is now fanning out. They got fresh tires. They feel like Superman. Guys are probably going to put their nose where it shouldn't be as the 39 almost swipes the rear end of the 29. Really thought he was going to get drilled as that 38 puts down some power. Saw that rear end slide out. He keeps it up under him, though. I really thought he was going to wreck. I mean, he had a lot of throttle in that car. But he kept it up under him. Ferguson has now jumped to the pits. Must have crashed back there. We do not know what happened with him. Josh Kreider riding this high line. Kind of got no help. The 76 is back here. He was up there earlier. That's Kenneth Chaney. He'll have to work his way back up to the field. He pitted on lap 33. That's why he's back there. Probably just wanted some fuel. His time, yeah, his was just fuel. Maybe some optional damage he got fixed too. Guys, we like to go side by side. I will give him that. But at a track like this, I mean, it's so big. It's just, it's difficult to run. You're trying to hold off about 20 lanes, it seems, behind you. That one's going to try to hold that bottom. Try to get around that guy that's on the bottom. Oh, I got this car numbers confused. As we got somebody in the wall back there. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been. There he is. He comes back up on the track. That was Chaney. Saw somebody, and then they disappeared from my view. I had no idea who it was. So I saw that. But he shot down to the bottom. He literally shot down to the bottom. There was no telling what happened to him. I saw him get into the wall. He might have gotten turned by somebody after that on accident. Don't mean to do that. Cars just slow in front of them. They can't slow down when they're going a certain speed. It's like, what am I supposed to do right now? That 52 is ripping that wall. Blackwell's really getting up on there. See the Jeff Gordon inspired paint scheme on Austin. Bo Lucky. Jeff Gordon, I believe he won the first race at Autoclub when it opened. Kyle Busch won the last one or before the reconfiguration that it's supposed to be going through. It's going to be turned into a short track. I don't know why, but it is. Going to be interesting, for sure. JR, he's just kind of looking at his rearview mirror saying, yeah, y'all are getting a little bit smaller. As these guys are running that seam up there, diamonding that corner off and going back down to the second to bottom seam. That's an art. If you can get it up there, it'll work. But if you don't, yeah, you'll go into the wall pretty easily. It's how close do you want to push it? You go up there. That's a better question. I'm somebody who won't get up on it that far. It really depends on the driver and how comfortable they want to go up to it, though. For that one, it's dirt tracking it. This is not a dirt track. This is a paved track, Clifton. I'm not saying Clifton, or Clinton. Clifton thought it was a dirt track. It's evidently not, but he made it a dirt track in that corner. He kept that car up under him. I don't know how he did it. Because he was wrecking sideways, literally wrecking sideways on off that corner. After 2 restarts that went bad, these guys have now faced each other out a little bit. Looking at lap times, see it now on your screen on the left side. But Lucky and Williams actually ran the fastest time. Those guys are about mid-pack too, which is surprising. Probably also catching the driver. Yes, they will as that 52 bounces off the wall, but Lucky kind of panics and realizes I don't want to get involved in this also. So yanks his off the wall too. Never want to see that. When you're a driver, you're like, oh no. Never see somebody yank it off the wall. It's always a scary sight. You have no idea how hard they're going to yank it off the wall. Sometimes you get stuck in there, and iRacing won't let you go. You kind of have to pull your car off of it when it doesn't want to let go. Spinoski, he is within drafting distance of Shepard. So he'll be able to get the draft. Blackwell, he is barely out of it. I mean, he is barely out of it. But like he's now getting freight trained on the outside. He's probably going to have to find a lane back up to the top here soon. If I was him, I'd try to get up there, and because he's getting ran by. He doesn't have any drafting help. He's all alone down there. Maybe come up and try to side draft, but he's got to do something to try to slow him down. As John McIntyre, he's now up 21 positions from where he started. Currently sitting third, so he started 24th. That is very good, very good. I've heard that name somewhere too before. I don't know where. Some of these guys' names are familiar. Once you get into iRacing, most of the names are actually surprisingly familiar. As the 52 is using that wall to turn. Don't want to be doing that. He pulls it off the wall. That 38 of Bob Eldridge will pull a slide move pretty much on him and get that position. Nathan Williams back here. I believe that's a Germany flag. He's trying to get a spot. He's looking on him, letting him know he's there. Shepard, he's pretty much just setting sail right now. He's nice, calm, collected. Yeah, what's happening? Just running up here all alone by himself. This is what kind of happens at some of these racetracks. Once these guys get out at just a certain distance, they are gone. These guys are dirt tracking it off the corners. I mean, they're slideways. They are literally slideways coming off. I don't know how they're keeping it up under them. It's going to eventually come back and bite them, though. It's one thing I learned about racing is you can go sideways for a little bit, but it always comes back and gets you. And when it gets you pretty hard. It gets you bad. As these guys are all on top of each other as Williams is wiggling. That was Blackwell. Everybody's wiggling coming off the corner. They want to put down the power. It's just not there for them, but they are sure as heck trying. As Clifton's going to send it down there. Hope it sticks. It will, but he's not going to have really any help as Williams has it kick out on him. In the middle of the corner, I saw it kick out a little bit, but he's able to save it. Clifton's still trying to get the spot. I mean, he's on the bottom. It's just not really working for him yet. He's staying very persistent with it, but he just can't. Oh, he gets clear of the 14. Almost squeezes him up into the wall, though. Tried to clear himself. Said, you know what? Even if you're up here, I'm going to try to come up into your lane. See how you like that. Almost. It actually did work for him. But Shinosky, he's out of drafting distance of Shepard. As we have the 52 on the wall. So is the 43. The 1 goes down to the 14. Collects the 1 again. They stay green. That was Clifton and Kibbe. As they are still green. These guys are flying around them. Go back and see what happened with these two guys. I think the 1 got sideways. Yeah, the 1 saw the 43 in the wall. The 1 then yanked it down. They net coded. Him and the 14 net coded. The 1 goes back up to the wall. 14's already sideways, and then the 1 goes back in the outside wall. Because of that, some of these guys made evasive maneuvers not to get absolutely driven through. And it's not what you want to see sometimes. At 14 of Kibbe's probably heavily damaged, if I had to guess. Clifton, he has called it a race for him. He's already left. Probably pulled off the track, or went down pit road and just alt F forward. So, nah, I'm done with this. There's no point in me staying at this point. But nah, I've had some races that feel like that too. It's just everything goes wrong in it. It's one of the most annoying feelings ever, too, because you're trying everything that you can to make it work, and it just won't work. It's these guys are sliding off that corner. Good Lord. We got somebody shot down. That might have been Behringer. He might actually gain a spot from this, and he will. How in the world do you gain a spot doing that? As he literally shot down off the exit of the corner as he was loose, chased it down there, and he will get that position on the 88 of hand as Eldridge is down pit road now. Bob Eldridge. He's coming down pit road here, lap 51. So a little bit past the 1/3 mark for, actually no, what would that be? I don't know math very well. I think of what this would be. We'll just say more than 1/3 mark of the race. Close enough. As Connolly, so both Eldridge are down. Connolly's coming down also. So I'm going to see if this triggers other pit stops too. Some guys were down lap 25, some were down lap 33. Guys came down on that third caution that happened because guys got into each other at the start of it. Noah Blackwell's down. I have to see when these lap 25 people pit. I really don't know when that'll be. Interesting. It really is going to be interesting what these guys do with each other. I don't like. So Williams is down, Robbins is down, Blackwell's still down. He is getting some damage fixed because he's sitting in pit road. He actually might have a penalty. It's the one thing drivers do very commonly. They try to get all they can getting on pit road. Sometimes they get too much, and it comes back and bites them. Yeah, JR is just, he's checked out right now. He's gone. He's almost got a 2-second lead on Shinosky. As these guys are at lap 54, we will take our second commercial break though, side by side.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
You all saw the pit stops that some of the guys taken, some of them didn't do some pit stops. Still have some guys that need to pit. Underwood needs to pit. So does Cheney and Han. Kreider and Kibbe and Hanley are down pit road right now. Some other guys did pit. Leader has came in, or the previous leader came in. He's not going to have to work his way. Once it cycles out, it should go up to him. But these guys up here are guys that took fuel on the last pit stop. Last caution that came out was only fuel for him. The top 4 have yet to come down. They were probably hoping for a caution to get them a big break. They would evidently want that. Now, a track like this, it's going to be pretty hard to get somebody a lap down. Just because of how big it is. It's so huge that I don't think it's really going to be possible most of the time. But it's worth a shot. Might as well see if it can happen. See, yeah, so Hand is now down pit road. Brookover, Cheney, and Underwood still need to come. I'm guessing they're going to push it to the very end of their fuel. That's what I would do if I were these guys. Run it dry. Because that could get them, see, they go from lap 33. They could get a good amount of fuel on this one tank if they play it right. As Underwood's now down pit road as soon as I say that. So the top 2 that need to come down. Cheney, he still needs to come down pit road. Yeah, Brookover, he came down pit road coming off of 4 there as we panned away from him. Cheney looks like he's coming down this time too. Got to get in and slow it down, but got a pretty large zone to slow down here at Auto Club. He does that. Has to drive on the right side of pit road. Some leagues are very strict on that. Very, very strict on that. This will put JR back to lead like he was before. Bob Eldridge, he's currently riding second. He pitted on lap 50 though. So that gamble somewhat paid off for him. We're going to see how long it works for him, however. So he pitted on lap 33. Came down on lap 61. So they got less than 30 laps on that tank. So we'll have to come down around lap 90, and that should get them to the end. Actually, not have to come back down lap 85. Should get them to the end. I think they were running the tank dry. I'm thinking they were running the tank dry. I'm hopefully guessing right. Jeff Gordon paint scheme starting to make his way up to his pack a little bit. That's Kibbe, who just went on by. He put on lap 57, so he's got some fresh tires. Do look him to probably make it back up to the front here relatively quickly. He's going to have better tires than these guys. He knows he can do some moves that they can't. It's always one thing, when you got fresh tires, you really want to get through the pack as fast as you can, but you don't want to burn them up. Sometimes you do have to sacrifice a little bit just to go on by them. 8 is going down to the bottom a lot. Might have to come back in here possibly. Hit on lap 59. He is having to come down pit road, so he might have gotten a speeding penalty. Oh, he's just staying out of the way of these guys. So he's just letting them race it out, possibly. Williams is having to hold off Blackmore. Blackmore is, he's all over him. He's not giving him any space, that's for sure. Actually kind of giving him a little bit of an inside look here right now. I'm going to try to get that inside rolling. He's up under him right now. You can't see him there on that camera. Blackmore trying to get this position. from Williams. He's going to go all the way down to the bottom, take the shortest way around the track possible. These guys are now a little bit past halfway in their race. Have about 60 laps left now for them. 61 left. Definitely probably one of the longer races that I've done, that's for sure. Running about 40-second laps right now. Only 3 cautions so far. William Connolly. 24 is now actually trying to get a position. The 29 of Farrell Robbins, as he will get that. That's a Jeff Gordon throwback paint scheme. One of the paint schemes Jeff Gordon was also pretty famous with. Besides his Rainbow Warriors, that was probably one of the more notable ones that he had. So, Eldridge has actually kind of held on here, surprisingly. He's not really fallen off as much as I thought he would. And there's been definite fall off, but Shepard's just, I mean, he's been running away with it. He's over 4 seconds ahead of these guys. If a caution doesn't come out, he's probably will, has this win in his pocket. So, I mean, you can kind of mark it off and say, yeah, this dude's going to win it. I mean, what am I supposed to do about this? Oh, that was, somebody got loose off the corner. That was Williams. That car really stepped out on him. Why not having so much fun with it right now? These cars especially, you heat up that right rear, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, and you cannot drive it anymore. It gets really difficult after that. When I say difficult, I mean really, really difficult. Do a little bit of a turn-up session here for the top 5. Going to go on board with them for 2 laps here. Each going to turn off the limiter and let iRacing sounds come to you all here. Have to stop that right now. We got a caution on the track, though. I'm gonna have to see what it is. I'm gonna mess with this audio here real quick, so it'll go a little bit quieter for you all. Do not know what happened. We'll have to look. Jacob Stout. Ooh, something. Oh, gosh, he's flipping. Uh-oh, that's not supposed to happen. He's on his roof for a while. As he might have got pinched here. So he just comes down into the 8. 24 is an innocent bystander. He gets slammed up into the wall. 16 must get hit by somebody else. Oh, the 29 drills him. Flips him up in the air. He lands up to 29. He is going through the infield, I think. Where is he at? There he is. Robbins, we'll watch how hard Robbins hit him. I mean, he hit him head on. Oh my gosh. I mean, he absolutely drilled him. Gosh, that is a hard hit. Pretty sure in real life that car would be absolutely just destroyed. So that brings out another caution. These guys will not be able to make it to the end. So we'll have to pit on a lap, about lap 80, or not 80, about lap 105 again, if I had to guess for these guys. Some guys might try to pit early, but everybody's going to come down pit road, get 4 tires and fuel. Just a better thing for them. Realize that I can get this, and I won't have to be really worrying about anything else. But that was a vicious hit. I mean, that was an incredibly vicious hit for those guys. I did not think they were going to hit that hard. Going to have to see if JR beats him off pit road. I think he probably will. Don't see him, getting beat off pit road at all. Got the first pit stall too, so when he goes out, he just has to pretty much keep it floored and go straight. Doesn't have to worry about other guys coming off of it. He's going to take 4 tires and fuel. Everybody's taking 4 tires and fuel. This is a no-brainer. Yeah, he beats them all off pit road. Not a surprise to me at all. See everybody else come off. Some guys are going to be sitting there taking their fast repair, fixing their optional damage. A little bit later in the race, but I would still be fixing it if I were them. I'm somebody who just likes to have a pretty clean car, as clean as I can get at that 24. I know he's got heavy damage. I mean, he absolutely got drilled. Literally just drilled. And he had no clue what was happening. I mean, there's nothing he can do. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to kind of ride here. And he just, bam, out of nowhere, gets just smacked on this side. Yeah, JR maintains the lead, though. Not a surprise at all. He's been leading most of this race, so it's not uncommon for him to do it. As in real life news. Real life news, Austin Hill won the Xfinity race. I was pulling for Parker Kligerman. He got 3rd. Had a chance to win it, and then got turned by Chandler Smith. Not Chandler Smith, Daniel Hemrick. So, kind of sad about that. Thought he had a chance to win it. Lights are already off, so I'm guessing they're only doing about 2 to 3 pace laps here that they set in the settings for it. It says, yeah, let's forget about pacing. I wanted some more racing. Need to pull up the stream on my second monitor, or one of my 3 monitors that I have. I've got way too many monitors around me, I swear. Way too many. But not been a bad race. Only 4 cautions, 75 laps in, and 2 of those were back-to-back. Guys just misshifting on the restart. That's not something that's uncommon in cars like these. Especially if you have a bad shifter. I have the Logitech one. I actually moved my mic over towards it. Y'all might be able to hear that jiggle. The Logitech one's, I mean, it's a good starter one, but it's just, yeah, it doesn't have the best feeling. It kind of feels like you're just kind of rowing through a lot of stuff. You really can't tell what gear it is most of the time. You're kind of guessing. These guys might have better shifter than others. Pace car's going to pull off here. Shepard, Shanowski, Top 2 guys. 75 laps into this 125 lap race. One more pit stop remains as green flag is back in the air. We are back underway here. Right now, it's pretty crucial for Shepard to keep the lead. We saw him drop back earlier. He really didn't get back up after that, so I think he really wants to stay out front here. Don't know how dirty air affects these cars, but it seems like he didn't do as good as other guys did, being behind everybody else. They're somewhat sorting it out as Austin slowed down pit road. Forgot he had that hard contact there. That was a vicious hit. Very vicious hit. Off its middle of nowhere. JR is running away from these guys a little bit. Oh, that 15 has it step out on McIntyre. That car got sideways coming off that corner. He saves it, though. A nice save from McIntyre. That's what happens. I mean, these cars just got so much power behind them now. This is what they had when Jeff Gordon was near his peak, I'd say in his career. The 90s, it was peak. Early 2000s, he wasn't bad either. These cars had a lot of horsepower. They were hard to drive. It was not an easy thing to do for those guys at all. Had to really be up on that wheel. As this is going to end up bad. Somebody's going to end up wrecking around Hanley. Because he disappeared a lot there, and I really didn't know where he went either. That was kind of nerve-wracking. You always want to be able to see a car. When you can't see them, you don't know if they're inside of you, they're to the outside of you, they're in front of you. And when they reappear, they most likely wreck you half the time on accident. They don't mean to do it. They literally can't see where they are. They can't see you. They can't see anyone else around them. Because you're not there on the track for them. Is that 15? He has it go up the wall, chases it a little bit. I thought that was going to go really bad for him there. These guys are not really letting JR get away from them, though. They're staying drafting with each other, so this is going to be shoving them up there to them. So they put on about lap 60. So they'll probably come down about 98 to 102. And they'll get 4 tires and fuel, and that should be their last pit stop if McIntyre doesn't junk it in the fence. I mean, he's been sideways twice now. We saw that car completely step out on him, and he somehow does not wreck. It looks like he's going to be taking out the whole entire field with him, but he does not, and that's pretty amazing that he's able to do that. That's for sure. Okay, Kibby's making his way back up here. I think he might be a guy to watch, as I think McIntyre just got loose again off the corner. He's actually going to get the wall there. Use the wall to turn. Might as well see what happens. He is up on this wheel. He is not leaving anything out there. No doubts are left on the track that he is not driving his absolute heart out. That car has been sideways a lot for him. A lot. Sometimes it's fun to feel. Sometimes it's horrifying. No, those tires don't like it, that's for sure. Kibby's going to look up under McIntyre for that third position. He's going to get side by side with him, see if he can hold it coming off the corner. If McIntyre is stepping out a little bit again, has to chase it off the exit, but he does have the draft help. And the 31 of Shinosky in front of him, so he'll get a little bit of a pull down the backstretch. He'll maintain that position on him. He kind of sailed on in there. That bobble there again. Wants to step out on him. That's one thing I do not like about these cars. They just want to keep stepping out. Very hard to keep up under you, that's for sure. Kibby did get that spot on McIntyre eventually. That 77 Underwood's trying to rip that line, or high line. It's not working for him quite just yet. He's trying to do something with it. He's trying to get a big run. He has McIntyre in front of him, so he can get the draft coming off the corners. It's just a better question of how long can you hold it. So being up there does abuse those tires a little bit more. Makes them heat up a little bit. You can't do what you did before in it. Now, if you're sliding off the corner, that's probably even worse. You cannot put down any power at all. About 10 laps, these guys will be coming up on pit stops, so I do know that much. 10, no, actually probably about 15 to 17 laps, pit stops will start happening. I'm looking at Kibby, though. Kibby, he's probably going to get around Shinosky. Shinosky's not really putting that much of a challenge. He's kind of running that middle line and goes back down to that bottom seam. That first seam off the bottom on the track and really wraps that around there. McIntyre is just trying to hold on. He's trying not to wreck as Josh Kreider is in pit road. He's actually off and away. He's down pit road for 14 seconds. That was 4 tires and fuel for him last time. So this time he'll be getting 4 tires and fuel again. He is actually in his pit stall. This early, I don't think you can make it on fuel. We did see guys coming down pit road. Leave about 30-ish most of the time for him. As that is a lot of historic stuff there that I cannot read any of it. These guys back here, if they get lined up, I think Shepard may be in trouble. Because Kibby did get that spot as we were looking at Kreider down pit road. Kibby's fast. I mean, he's been fast this whole entire race, and he's just outside the bubble. He's almost sniffing the draft of Shepard. He can get up just a little bit closer. He'll be within the drafting range of him. So it's going to be a close one. It's going to be a very, very close one, that's for sure. I mean, extremely close. I'm looking at some of my disc stuff here. Making sure everything's healthy. He's on the edge. He's right on the edge of it. And these are 2 very, very high IR drivers. Almost 5K IR, both of them. These guys know how to handle these cars. And he's on the edge. He's right there to where he just can't get enough to get in the draft with him. 6/10 is when these cars will start to pick up a draft. After that, you can pretty much just say, yeah, bye-bye. From that point on, as McIntyre, he's somehow holding on to that Napa Auto Parts Chevy Impala as he was sideways twice, and the car was completely sideways. You can even call it slideways if you want to on him, and he somehow did not absolutely just junk it. I mean, it probably should have been junked in that car for him. I mean, he's just right there. Look at the lap times there. He's been shaving off time, but he's so close. Actually, that's the wrong person. See, Shepard gains just a little bit, and then Kibby will shave it off. So it'll be close. It's going to be really, really, really close with him. Jordan Kreider's down pit road. It was Josh Kreider earlier. Now Jordan's down pit road. This may be 4 tires and fuel. Let's see if they drop the jack here as he is off and away. As look at this, Kibby's got the draft now. Here he comes, Shepard. See that white car growing a little bit bigger in his mirror. Kibby's coming, and he might catch him here. These two are almost dead even most of the laps. I think Kibby bobbled a little bit there. Lost a little bit of time, but he's still barely in the draft. See that 29 who absolutely drilled. I can't remember who he drilled earlier, but him. He absolutely smashed somebody earlier. He's still in the race. Roderick Ladder. That's an interesting name. I'm horrible with last names to begin with, so it's even harder for me when I get some difficult ones. Some of them I won't even try. I'm like, nope, I'm not even trying this one. It's not going to work. I might as well just quit. But looking at lap times, I mean, Kibby is a little bit slower than Shepard. Every now and then, now when Kibby gets a good run, they're almost dead even, but I think Kibby's getting in there deeper, but he's not being able to get in the throttle very fast on exit, looking at his time coming off the corner there. But pit stops. Gonna have one more. That could be the deciding factor. And that could really be the deciding factor in who wins this race and who doesn't. Because Kibby has to hit it right. Shepard has to hit it right. Shinoski has to hit it right. All these guys that are within a second of each other, you know, probably the top 7. If one of them messes up, that could be the end of the race for him. As we have the 8. He's in the wall. It's Brook over. I think he's trying to get down to pit road if he doesn't bring on a caution here. He's keeping it high up against the wall, actually in the wall. He's so high up on it. Shepard. He's going to have to do it with his 14 after these pit stops, I believe. I don't think they can make it on fuel. One more pit stop will do it for him. We must have guys wrecking back there. That was McIntyre again. Got loose off the corner. He's up 18 positions, or 19 positions. Underwood is actually up 18, so he's had a good run too, as he almost gets swiped by the 38 coming behind him. That was ended up horrible for him, as that 38's really trying to put down some power. Slideways off the corner, getting all he can. I mean, it's a good thing to be trying, that's for sure. Try what you can, see what can happen there. When are these guys going to decide to come down pit road? When do they bite the bullet and do it? I don't know when these guys pit. When do you come back down? 73, they'd have to be going. Don't know what their fuel load is. I don't think they can make it to the end, though. I mean, they're probably stretching it as long as they can because they, you want that tire. You want that tire advantage. We'll just have to see who stays low coming off one of these corners and who's that first lead lap car that'll do it. Once somebody goes, the floodgates are open after that. So I don't know how McIntyre is still holding on to this car. Shinoski lost that position to Underwood eventually. I mean, that was probably going to happen either way, the way Underwood was. He was just a little bit faster than him. When I say a little bit, just a little bit faster. He wasn't a lot faster than him. So I need to make an actual logo for this after this race ends. As Robbins, he's going to be the first guy that comes in. All these lead lap cars, he can make it to the end now. So, who comes down pit road? How long do these leaders wait on pit road to come in? Do you dare to try to run your tank out of fuel? JR's got to decide, because if Kibby pits a lap earlier, this could get Kibby in front of him. I mean, it very well could get Kibby right in front of him. Just have to see, when does he stay low coming off? Say, well, I like night lighting a lot better than whatever day lighting is sometimes. Some night lighting looks absolutely horrible. So yeah, oh, there they go. Veklavik, Shoffett, Blackwell. I believe these guys are really far back though, so I don't think it'll make any difference for them coming down pit road like this. It's worth a shot if the caution were to come out, and that'd be ideal. I mean, that'd be probably the best thing for him. Yep, so, I mean, literally the whole field comes down with them. As Kibby actually lost a spot again on pit road there. Have to go and watch his entrance into pit road. But you got to be perfect. You have to be completely perfect on this pit stop. The whole field is coming down behind you. How good is Shepard going to be off of pit road? He's got a clean exit. Doesn't really have to do much. Pretty much get off pit road. It's just go straight. Once Jack drops, go. Might. He's going to beat him all off of pit road here. But behind him, looks like the 38 of Eldridge actually comes out in front of him. He had an 11-second pit stop, though. That might be 2 tires on his car. As Hanley, Blackmore, Williams, and Shinoski are down. Gonna have to look. See what happened to Kibby getting on pit road, though, because I do think something happened with him getting on there. Trying to find where that was, because he got in there kind of odd. It wasn't. He lost a spot getting in there. But it's going to allow JR to get pretty far away from these guys now. Underwood, he already pit on lap 100. Shinoski is actually not that far back. He's 101, but only 25 laps. And yeah, look at Shepard's lead now. Almost 2 seconds. Yeah, so I think he might have this win secured here. If I had to guess for him, he's pretty much just stepping it out on him. Not really having to contend with anybody. Caution comes out though, this will change everything. I mean literally everything for this man. He could be one happy driver, he could be one mad driver. If I had to guess, he'll probably be one mad driver if the caution were to come out, because he's so far ahead of these guys. And he can just kind of set sail. Underwood, I know Underwood is pushing as he's actually sideways off the corner there. See him pull it off the wall almost gets into it. It's so close off of it. Be coming inside 20 to go here very shortly as Cheney just ran the fastest lap of the race, 40:27. Actually, a lot faster than anybody on the track, and he's alone too. That's the more amazing thing for him. Underwood, he's trying to cut into that gap, but I don't think he can do it in time. It's gonna take him a long way to get there. He's got to hope. I mean, the only hope he has is if he gets the bumper him, he just shoves him. That's the only hope I can see these two having for each other. Besides that, you know, I don't see anything happening. I really do not see anything happening there. Almost got somebody in the wall. That's the 25. Finally up in the wall, come off the 2. But you can see Underwood there. It's just too much of a gap. I don't think he can get there. I really don't. Now these guys are inside 20 to go. We're gonna take our last side-by-side commercial break for these guys, and then it will be pretty much on from there.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Some heroes walk on 4 legs. I'm Jason Johnson, founder of Project Canine Hero. Not every retired police canine or military working dog has a home to go to in retirement. We strive to ensure no hero is left behind. We cover the medical needs of our program members after their faithful service. Our organization also provides a lifetime sanctuary for many of these heroes who may suffer from PTSD. And whenever possible, we find them a forever home. Visit ProjectCanineHero.org to learn how you can help protect those who protected us.
So all these guys, they're trying. I mean, they're trying all they can to get to him, but I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, they've stayed about a second and a half back as Kibbe looks like he's actually going to go to the outside of Underwood. Underwood's not really going to fight him for it. He's going to pretty much just let him go right on by. But, I mean, he's got 15 laps to try to chase down Shepard. I don't see it happening. Shepard's just too far ahead. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. So, I mean, somebody can wreck. Somebody can do anything on the track, and nobody really knows what's going to happen to him. Yeah, Robbins, he's back down pit road. I'm not sure. He looks like he just took fuel. And Kibbe's... It's going to be a valiant effort from Kibbe, but just he's too far back to do anything. It's just too late in the race to catch him. It's pretty much the state. I mean, the gap. Shepard's actually running. It was a little bit slower that lap, but I mean, he's running barely slower. And I say barely, I mean like barely slower lap times than Kibbe and Underwood. These two are not nose to tail, but they're close enough to get a draft off of each other. Like, I'll show you the lap times there on the left side of your screen on the scoreboard. What they were running, what they have been running. It's not that big of a difference. I mean, it really isn't that much of a difference for these two guys. That lap, I mean, he was almost identical with him as Underwood slips a little bit coming off that corner. McIntyre, I'm surprised he's still in fourth, so knowing how sideways he was earlier in the race. That car was almost wrecking. And he almost wrecked about twice. And spanned about 5 laps. I don't know how he kept that car up under him, but he did. Pretty amazing to watch, that's for sure. And I don't know much about these leagues and these drivers, as I've said earlier. I was in the middle of the A Open, and I just happened to scroll on Facebook and find this league that was asking for a broadcaster for tonight. So, didn't really know I was going to be doing this until last moment, pretty much. I mean, you can see that's the 8, I believe. Yeah, 8's coming back out here. He's multiple laps down. He's not going to be a factor for him. That's Brooke over. As he was up and down. I think it was him that was up and down. He was up to 19th at one point, and then he just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he wrecked or did something like that, but I was kind of confused when I saw where he was at one point. .31's actually kind of sneaking back into this a little bit. Ooh, that's sideways. Jordan Hand just sliding off that corner. I think McIntyre is safe. Kibbe's maybe safe. Underwood might get him. Janowski, who's that behind these two? That's the 8, actually. Sorry. Williams had a promising night, and he's back. He's currently in 8th. Underwood and McIntyre are the biggest movers, though. Underwood is up 18. McIntyre, he's up 20. He's done really good. Both of the drivers done incredibly good this night. They cannot be mad at themselves at all for the way that they've finished. I say finish, I'm already kind of giving the win to Shepard. I probably shouldn't be doing that because broadcaster's curse is a pretty real thing. I mean, it is extremely real. I'll tell y'all what, that is, I'm looking at stuff. That's a, Josh Williams, he parked it on pit road, or not pit road, on the track at Atlanta, literally at the start-finish line. And we've got, like, NASCAR drivers in there saying, like, I'll donate to you, I'll pay your fine. I mean, that must mean they must hate NASCAR pretty much. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it was apparently for tape coming off the car. The bear bond came off. So they told him to park it. To take it off the track, which doesn't make any sense. So it's not too smart of him at all. Gibby's might have to hold off Underwood here. Underwood's coming. He's not letting him run away with it. I mean, the only person they're letting run away with this is Shepard right now, currently. He's so far ahead as the 8 is pointing Ross Chastain at Bristol. Not Bristol. Martinsville. Not going to work here. Track like this, I don't think he can even steer anymore. He's got so much damage on that car. He's been up in the wall basically every single corner I've saw him. He's a new driver to iRacing though, so can't beat on him. We were all there at one point in time. We'll do the lap on board with Kibby and Underwood, and then the last 3 laps will be on board with Shepard because he is absolutely running away with it. The white flag in the air for Shepard here. One more time around here at Auto Club. Anybody wrecks, doesn't matter because the white flag is out. He has a commanding lead over Kibby. Kibby is not going to catch him at all. Almost 3 seconds on him. He's dominated a lot of this race. Started first, fell back a little bit, had to kind of fight his way up through it. But, I mean, ever since he's been out front since then, it's been lights out for him. But J.R. Shepherd, he'll go into 3. He'll come off of 4 here. And he will win here at Auto Club in a dominating fashion for him. Kibbe will hold off Underwood for second. Underwood will come home third. McIntyre 4th. And Shinosky will come home 5th. McIntyre gained 20 positions from where he started. Underwood gained 18. So those guys had a very good run here tonight. But Shepherd, he'll be the driver. If he takes home the win, he'll probably be happy with himself too. On that, yeah, I just won. It's always cool to win league races. Always seems to mean a little bit more, I'd say, for these guys too. It'll definitely be a memorable win for them. Jeff Clifton, who left earlier, said something in the Discord there. Didn't catch that, but we'll watch Shepherd burn it down here whenever he decides to do it. He might just be taking a celebration lap as he'll whip it around there now. Do his burnout here. Come on, burn it down. Burn it down. Give me a good old burnout. He's not really doing them. Come on. Really get it going. I want to see his car blowing some tires out. He might go back to the start-finish line and do it if I had to guess. Hopefully he does. Let's see if he pulls the start-finish line. I think he might just be sitting there now if he pulls it off the track. So not much of a burnout. Would have liked to see a little bit more, but of course that's a driver's choice. Pull up the finishing order here though for you guys, and we'll bring in the top 3 drivers. Make sure I have my Discord unmuted. Made that mistake a couple of times. Let me bring in Brian Underwood. Hey Brian, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, I have you.
Man, so you come in 3rd, fall just a little bit short, man. But, how did the race go for you overall? Because you gained a lot of positions here.
Yeah, I was just playing the patient game, just trying to make my way through the field throughout the race, and just come up a little short, I guess. I wish I had about another fuel run there, because I think I might have had a chance then. But kudos to JR there. He did a hell of a race there.
So do you think if a caution would have came out, that would have changed everything for y'all? Because it seems like, JR, the only time you could catch him was when y'all were close enough, like when y'all were on a restart, because he was just setting sail there. So do you think a caution would have changed everything for him and for you?
I think if we had a caution, it would have been pretty crazy, because I don't think we had tires. But I think I battled Kenny there a little too much, because we were running neck to neck on lap times for majority of that run. And then Kenny made a move on me, and I just had to kind of let him go. I wanted to save my tires, but I just didn't have enough time. I think he had it regardless if we had a caution 10 laps to go.
It definitely seemed like JR was the guy he was going to be hard to catch. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
I just got to thank you for hopping in last second, and thanking our league sponsors and all our guys that show up. They put a hell of a show on.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good 3rd place finish tonight, though, man.
Thanks.
That was the wrong room. I meant to drag him. I dragged somebody else in there with him. But we will bring in the 2nd place driver in Kenny Kibbe. Hey, Kenny, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
And so you come home 2nd. You and JR were going at it before that last pit stop, and then something happened to you getting on pit road. But, how did the race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checkered, man? Because you were in contention the whole entire night for a win.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. We qualified in a decent spot, and really these cars and this track are all about racing the track, and that was my plan from the start. And We had good natural pace, and we were just trying to be smooth, and we were good on the long runs. And luckily, we had a bunch of long runs tonight, so that helped. Um, but then we had that one restart, and I missed a shift and caused a wreck, and I feel so bad for that. I'm glad not a ton of cars were involved in that, but so then we went to the back and came back to the front, and again, just had to be patient. But the long runs really helped my skill set. So I just tried to be patient and get through there. And then, like you said, the last pit stop there, I got held up on pit exit. The car in front just wasn't really going very fast on the exit to blend to the track, and that really slowed us down, gave JR a good gap, and I kind of burned my stuff up trying to catch him. But all in all, a great race.
Yeah, I mean, do you think, I had Underwood tell me this. Now, did you all have any tires left if there were a caution that came out late in the race?
We did not. That was it. We basically started the race with the exact amount of sets that we would need with that went with our fuel plus one set, and and that was it. So it was going to be really interesting if we had a late restart, and but it really makes you be smart with your strategy and those kind of things. But yeah, there's not a lot of slack when it comes to tires.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Well, I'd like to thank the admins, Josh Kreider and Brian Underwood, for allowing us, myself and some of my friends, to come over. And it was a great first experience. So I'm really looking forward to the next one. You, Bryce, for coming on board to broadcast. It's pretty cool to have these broadcasted. All the racers for just being smart out there and nice and courteous for the most part. And shout out to my teammates, JR with the victory, and Matt Shinosky with a good run in fifth, and Brody Vuklevic in 13th with his first league race ever. So big shout out to them and to everybody who rides on board with me on Twitch.
All right. Well, I will let you go. Good second place finish tonight, though, man.
Thank you.
That was Kenny Kibbe. I don't want to say Kenneth. Kenny Kibbe, the second place driver. We will bring in the race winner in JR Shepard here. Excuse me. Hey, JR, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
And so you pretty much just dominated that race from the drop of the green flags to the checker. What was going through your head that whole entire time? Because it seems like you really didn't have to fight a lot of people during the whole race.
Yeah, I was actually pretty lucky to be able to qualify on the pole. I wasn't expecting that to happen, especially the first race here. And that just gave me good track position, and kind of gives you some options. You don't really have to race that hard. You can kind of save your stuff for the long run. And I was hoping that's what we were going to get. And we got a lot of long green flag runs, several green flag pit stops. That's something that's extremely rare in the league these days. So just hats off to the guys for putting this league together and running it the way that they do.
Now, so what was going through your head those last 5 laps? Because I know you were praying that a caution wasn't going to come out. But if one was going to come out, I heard that you all didn't have any tires left. Do you think this finish could have been completely different?
Yeah, absolutely. I was saving that whole run, just kind of hoping that if a caution did come out, I'd have enough tires to kind of hold off the guys that were on the same cycle as me. But if anybody had a set of tires left, they were going to run off and leave us. It was going to be very sketchy if we had a late race restart for sure.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, just definitely the Premium Stock Car Racing League, the admins for everything that they're doing here, because it's very apparent my first time here that they're running a great league, and monitoring everything the way that a league should. So that's extremely cool to see. My team, Different Path Motorsports, and of course everything you do on the broadcast, man. It's cool being on there.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Go celebrate that victory tonight, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That was JR Shepard, the race winner. I will go over the finishing order here really quick and go invisible on Discord. So JR Shepard first, Kenneth Kibbe second, Brian Underwood third, John McIntyre fourth, Matt Shinosky fifth, Jordan Hand sixth, seventh, Kenneth Cheney eighth, Nathan Williams ninth, Melvin Behringer 10th, TJ Hanley 13th, Cody Blackmore 12th, Jacob Shoffett 13th, Broderick Vaklavic 14th, William Connolly 15th, Bob Eldred. 16th, Farrell Robbins. 17th, Jordan Kreider. 18th, Noah Blackwell. 19th is Josh Kreider. 20th, Gary Eldred. 22nd, Nathan Brookover. 23rd, Austin Bolecki. 24th, Jeff Clifton. 25th, David Mayo. And 26th was Tyler Ferguson. So some guys had some rough nights. Some guys didn't. That's how racing goes sometimes. You have good races, you have bad races. But it really wasn't a bad race overall. It's kind of fun to watch these cars that have a lot of horsepower up under them race, because they're not fun to drive if you can't drive them right. They got a lot of power. Rear end wants to kick out, but it was pretty good. But this was the Premier Stock Car Racing League, sponsored by Ayers iRacing Paints, Admin Box, Butt Kicker, Gaston's iRacing Graphics, and Westgate Resorts. You can see that URL on the bottom of the screen for y'all. But Austin is currently streaming right now if y'all want to go watch some more racing again. You don't mind throwing in a subscription for Ghost Racing Network, that will help us grow. We are at 591 right now currently. Would like to hit 600 by the end of this month. I would really like to hit it by the end of tonight. I do think it's possible. It'll be very close if we can do it. But I will roll this final ad, and you all can go.